This program is about missing people, exceptional people designed to have an extraordinary impact on humanity. Missing people whose invaluable talents were never shared, whose charitable contributions were never made, and whose good gifts to society were never received. Missing people whose absence from the human race has had tragic, catastrophic effects. The stories of the missing people you're about to hear express the desires of a designer with the best intentions for humanity. Intentions that were thwarted by mysterious, puzzling, perplexing circumstances, possibly even foul play. Due to the nature of human nature, these individuals may be difficult to track down. Despite the intense risks in attempting to locate these missing people, the payoffs for you and for your entire species far exceed any sacrifices or dangers. At the heart of each of these stories is a magnanimous, philanthropic contribution that was supposed to be made, but never was. Or at least, not yet. Each person's intended life story is told in as much detail as necessary to motivate a sweeping search for these missing people, and perhaps even inspire others to emulate the lives that were supposed to be lived, but never were. Who knows? Maybe one of these missing people is someone close to you. Maybe one of these missing people is hiding out inside of you. We have retold the stories of these missing people in the hope that perhaps someone, somewhere, has the ability to come forward and become one of these people. Tonight, by listening to their stories, you may be able to help us find a missing person. On March 10th, 1913, on a modest 7-acre farm in Auburn, New York, the indomitable freedom fighter and abolitionist Harriet Tubman passed away in the eponymous Harriet Tubman Home for the Elderly. Her dying words, "I go to prepare a place for you," signaled that her philanthropy would not end with her physical death. While Tubman's estate was willed to her niece, Mary Gaston, grandniece Katie Stewart, and matron of the Harriet Tubman Home, Frances Smith, Harriet left behind an encoded document that spelled out her intentions and instructions for the transfer of her powers of tremendous strength, sacrifice, courage, compassion, generosity, and pluck to one unique individual. Tragically, the documents were thought for many years to have been lost in a fire. Then, in 1989, the documents were miraculously recovered. After laborious decoding efforts, Tubman's instructions were deciphered. In the documents, Tubman recounted that before her death, she had one last vision. In this vision, she was shown in America, where slavery had been legally abolished, yet millions were chained to debts, crushed by rising cost of living and low wages, and kept in wage slavery and poverty. Tubman prophesied the need for a new Moses to pick up where she left off and fight this new fight. Tubman prophesied that the Moses III would be born in the mid to late 20th century, and that this Moses would escape from the poverty of the projects, the trailer parks, by being shot to meteoric fame by a dazzling, heart-melting talent and crowd-rallying charisma. After acquiring great wealth, Moses III, Moses for the 21st century, would return to the impoverished communities where so many were being held captive to high interest rate credit card, student loan, and medical debts, and kept in the underclass by low wages. Moses III would then set the captives free. As many as possible would be liberated before Moses III's pockets and bank accounts had been emptied. Mirroring the path of Tubman's life, the 21st century Moses would live out the rest of their own life in a modest, hard-working existence, continuing to share more than half of what they earned with those in need through an underground railroad of loan payoffs, all cash, house purchases, business grants, and medical bill forgiveness for the underclasses. Several times, hopes have been raised that the missing Moses, Moses III, had finally arrived. There have been rumors and rumblings over the past few decades, acts of philanthropy from former quote-unquote slaves that turned out to be mirages, such as the work of individuals like Mother Teresa. There have been various false reported sightings, including one at a trailer park in Milford, Michigan, a shotgun house in rural Mississippi, a Poe house in Baltimore, Maryland, and a sighting in a high-rise apartment in Harlem, New York, a slum in Burleson, Texas, as well. Others suspected, and still suspect, that the new Moses might be the youngest of 14 children born in Charlemagne, Canada, or a Hogey immigrant from post-World War II Austria, the son of an abusive Catholic father in Syracuse, New York, a trailer park kid and daughter of alcoholics from Roswell, New Mexico, or a poor young girl scarred for life by the memories of her family regularly having their electricity, water, phone, and gas shut off, and birthdays being canceled due to lack of funds. But ultimately, none of these individuals had that same spark that drove Harriet to become a heroic savior and martyr for so many. So, the search continues. Many fear that the new Moses may have been kidnapped brainwashed and inducted into a cult, or may have been the victim of a Svengali. It's also possible that the new Moses has voluntarily renounced the call and the power passed to them by Tubman to live an extravagant life for themselves. It's possible that Moses III has a scar on their temple, along with a strong sense of compassion, and has demonstrated an intense defiance and stubbornness throughout their life. Moses III undeniably has strong leadership qualities and may be mistaken for an SJW. An anonymous party is offering a reward of $500 for any information that may lead to the apprehension of Moses III or any clues to their identity and whereabouts. If you have any information that can help us locate Moses III, please do not hesitate to share it with us via our website or our tip line. Social media influencers are known for their promos for cosmetics, clothes, cars, weight loss tonics, trendy workouts, travel spots, and themselves, and their own brand. While some influencers have been brave enough to post selfies of themselves sans makeup, only the most lion-hearted would be courageous enough to risk their celebrity status on profitless passion projects. So far, none have been intrepid enough to accept sponsorship for a very magnanimous social change campaign. The No Heart Left Unmatched campaign offers no financial remuneration, only the joy of knowing that you made the world a better place. The No Heart Left Unmatched campaign was created in 2005 with the purpose of eradicating loneliness and social isolation, the cause of many personal and social problems. Through this campaign, a high-profile certified organic influencer would agree to surrender the popularity and reach of their social media platforms to showcasing and promoting one lonely person at a time until romantic and platonic soulmate matches were found for that individual. By giving uninfluential individuals their 15 or so minutes of fame, highlighting their talents, cute quirks, passions, hobbies, and offerings, and then financing dates with potential soul matches, the world could see a drastic reduction in desperately lonely people. While the search for the matchmaking messiah of social media has been raging since the dawn of MySpace. At the time of this recording, no popular girl or boy has taken the mantle as the soulmate connector supreme. If you have any information that can help us locate the appointed, anointed, no hearts left unmatched social media influencer, please do not hesitate to share it with us via our website, Instapage, or our tip hotline. Our investigators are especially interested in hearing from social media influencers with 100,000 followers plus /subs who may hold clues to why this sponsored project has not yet been claimed. We've all lain awake at night, frustrated by the fact that our voices can't be heard by millions, that our opinion has such limited reach. Essentially, our reach may, if we're lucky, be the 10 other people who read our comments on CNN news stories, GB's ASMR channel, or the Moist Buddha's Insta page. There isn't a single person among us who hasn't deeply pondered, composed, and practiced what they'd say if they had the mic. The mic that broadcasts to the whole entire world. What would you say if you had that mic? The same one Elvis, Michael Jackson, Lady Gaga, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Kurt Cobain, Taylor Swift, Obama, and GB have all in turn held. What would you say if you held that mic in your own hands? What would you say if you knew the whole world was listening? Well, in 375 BC, the philosopher Plato had a vision of a device not too different from the modern microphone that he promised would one day elevate the minds and souls of every living person on earth. That device, he predicted, would grant one most extraordinary individual, blessed with supreme intelligence, the most melodious voice, and a natural gift for poetry, evocative oration, and teaching, would grant that individual a very unique opportunity for raising the consciousness and intellect of the world's population. When this individual was past the glowing, magical sound torch, as Plato called it, Plato predicted the chosen one would then instantly be granted the loudest voice and unlimited reach. Using this unprecedented tool in place of a ram's horn, the chosen one would transfer to the people of the world supreme knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, increasing the sophistication and precision of their vocabularies, equipping them with knowledge of everything from physics to psychology, making them all polymaths and polyglots, spreading feelings of goodwill and cooperation, and so much more. Many scholars have speculated and come to agreement that the glowing, magical sound torch Plato saw in his vision is the device we recognize today as the microphone. While the necessary tool for raising the intellect and spiritual vibrations of every human on this planet has materialized and proliferated and found its way into nearly every hand and household, the chosen one has yet to emerge and take the mic. though many have taken the mic to preach and proclaim, ooh, 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 baby, 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 something like that. Yeah, I love you so much, I would die without you. Or command everyone to start dancing. To date, no one has stepped up to grace the world with songs that use SAT level vocabulary, or use the memory shortcut offered by melody and the evocativeness of sung poetry to help the masses grasp the evolution of philosophical thought, or the progression of human events that we call history, or get a handle on basic science concepts. Mysteriously, the intended trajectory of this missing person seemed to have been thoroughly mapped out, leaving nothing to their imagination. Very little work required on their part. Plato described in great detail this dazzling wunderkind with the voice of an angel who would take the mic and use its power, the power of music, to transmit knowledge rapidly and effectively, to maximize recall, and to stoke a hunger for learning in all those who listened. Plato recorded that this chosen one's, this golden voice, would have a debut album. It would be a melodious tour of history and its greatest lessons. There would be an immediate follow-up album exploring the basic psychological principles set to irresistible harmonies. Taking time out to tour, they would then go back into the studio to record a Grammy-winning album that successfully integrated scientific principles with classical philosophy, illustrating through lush, complex lyrics how to apply these principles to daily life. The chosen one would then rebel against fame and being worshipped as a god, encouraging fans to think for themselves before retreating into a very reclusive life, styling themselves as an unguru who preaches that each person must be their own guru and invent their own customized religion. To ensure a secure legacy and to further increase their iconic status, the golden voice would perish in a tragic accident involving a jealous rival. Think Salieri. At this point, the magical sound torch would be mass-produced and disseminated to every soul on earth, but not before the golden voice of the great teacher had been heard by the whole world. Those who received the mass-produced, glowing, magical sound torches would then go on to record their own memories and experiences with the gifts bestowed upon them by the chosen one. Tragically, the prophecy has not been fulfilled to the letter. As you know, the world did not receive these gifts before the mic was mass-produced and made available to all. Thus, foul play is suspected in this missing person case, and our investigators are desperate for any clues that could lead to the discovery of the chosen one with the golden voice, who is believed to be in captivity at a tropical resort or being held on a yacht in the Florida Keys. If you have any information that could lead us to the golden voice, please share it with us now via our website, our social media, or through our tip hotline. Tonight's missing people are missing links in the story of human evolution and progress. Perhaps someone watching tonight holds the power to change the world. Perhaps that someone is you.